is Up for Grabs, a podcast where three unfiltered friends talk about anything and everything. And now, here are your hosts, Tracy, Kim, and Rachel.
Welcome to Up for Grabs. I'm Rachel. I'm here with my good friend, Kim.
Hello.
And my other sort of good friend, Tracy.
Hi.
Hi. How are you guys doing?
Peachy.
Yeah,
Really?
doing well.
That just wasn't super convincing. Today on Up for Grabs, we're going to be talking about apps. And when I first brought up the idea of doing apps, Tracy was quick to send me pictures of all of her favorite appetizers that are frequently
Delicious.
ordered at restaurants. Yes. And I wasn't talking about the food, the apps, but since you brought it up, I think we should first off get out of the way. What's your go-to app to order at a restaurant when you're feeling fancy?
Okay, first off, I want to say that I knew what you meant. I was just being aggravating. No, you said fancy. I'm not fancy with my app. Okay.
I'm just saying
Like,
fancy
if
in the
you're getting
sense
an app.
that you actually order them.
Like chips and salsa with ranch. Does that
Okay,
count?
I have a question.
Okay.
I don't think it should count. Okay, I went to a Mexican restaurant over the weekend, and I was absolutely appalled that they didn't offer free chips and salsa.
I wouldn't go anymore. No, Mexican restaurants, hands down, that
It
should
is
be
a pet peeve. If I go and they don't offer it
Where'd
for
you
free,
go?
I'm
Where
out the
did you
door.
go? That
Well, we were out
who
of
does
town.
that?
We were
Oh.
in Atlanta, and I guess the restaurant had redone their menu, and the people we were with, it was one of their favorite places, but they hadn't been there, and they waited and waited for someone to bring us chips and salsa, and it wasn't happening. And so finally they were like, do you not give that out anymore? And it was like $8
Oh, no.
to
Yeah.
order. And I'm like, that seems like that should be illegal, I think.
No, at a Mexican restaurant
Yeah,
especially.
Yeah. And my favorite chip salsa ranch combo is at Chili's.
Oh, Chili's has the best salsa.
It's delicious. And if you sign up for like their Chili's, whatever
Rewards,
it is,
yep.
rewards, you can get it free every single time you go.
That's
How do you guys know this stuff?
Oh,
Because you leave your house?
Yes.
Chili's by far, and I will
Yes.
fight anybody. They have the best chips and salsa.
Yeah.
They do.
And ranch. Like
What?
Yeah,
it's the triple
ranch
play.
kind of cuts the heat. I learned that
Yeah.
at somebody had told me something like their salsa was really on the border. Salsa's really hot, and there's not a mild. And they were like, put a little bit of ranch in it. It cuts the heat, and it was delicious.
Yes.
So Chili's has a really good skillet queso too, and they're kind of known for it. And it's
This podcast brought to you by...
and I'm advertising for Chili's.
Yes.
but it's worth going there just for that.
Well, why didn't
They're not
a
free
country
though. They are an app.
person write a song about Chili's instead of Applebee's?
I don't have an answer for that.
But I feel like that maybe needs to come
Yeah.
and talk
Yeah.
about
Yeah, they've got some
the
great
salsa.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm sorry. So you said I don't think my point was I'm not
okay,
sure.
you're not counting that?
I don't
But
know
if
if
you're
I
at a
count.
non-Mexican restaurant,
But do you want it when you're not at a non? Like
Yeah, I get
at
it at
Chili's,
Chili's
I do.
every time.
Okay, it's just not something I would lean toward if I wasn't at a Mexican restaurant. Okay, so you love
Next,
that.
I would say buffalo chicken dip because I like that. I make that a lot. So
Well, yeah, you can do that at home. Kim,
Yeah.
what's your go-to?
it depends on the restaurant. Like Outback, there's never a time that I would not get their cheese fries. They have the best cheese fries.
Not a bloomin' onion?
Bloomin' onion I would do at like maybe like what Texas Roadhouse has a really good. I like Outback's bloomin' onion, but their cheese fries are
Cheese
superior.
fries?
They, the cheese and the bacon and the
I don't know if I've ever
French fry.
ordered cheese fries as a appetizer. I would get it as my full meal.
They are good. Yeah,
okay,
they're good. But
my go-to is spinach artichoke dip. Whenever anyone has that,
Yeah.
that also
Oak and
comes
Barrel
with
has
tortilla
a
chips.
very, very good homemade chips with there's like a spinach artichoke.
okay.
Yeah, because that's
All
something
right.
I can't make at home, but I think tastes good.
No,
Yeah,
that is
you
it
could
is
make
good.
it at home. It's pretty easy.
I've never made it, but I will say restaurant spinach
You
artichoke.
can make it in a crock pot. Super easy.
But you have to buy artichokes and do something with them.
You can buy a can or a jar of them and then
Ew,
you
I
just break
wouldn't-
them up. That's probably what you're eating in the restaurant.
Oh no! Well, I'm never ordering that again.
All right, go on.
Okay.
Oh.
All right. So this is not the apps that we're talking about.
Okay.
Our phone apps.
We're talking about our phone apps, and I first want to say that I'm sitting at a table with two of the most tech savvy people that I know. Seriously, I remember I had an Android phone one time. I'll confess it. I had one. And the kids were little, and Kim and I were sitting under a tree at Perry Park trying to get through NJTL when the kids were little, learning tennis. I put that in quotes. We sat in the shade, and Kim was talking to another friend that had this Apple phone. I'm like, what's going on? And they were talking about, oh, did you download this? Did you download that? Have you used this? And I'm like, I have no idea what you're talking about, but you were really excited about it. And I thought, well, this is probably just a craze that will go away. And now I'm on the Apple side, but I remember not understanding what you were talking about.
Funny. I do. I vaguely remember that. Well, first of all, I loved our NJTL days.
Oh my God.
Loved it. I did. It was just, that was the time we all caught up.
We sat under the tree.
Yeah, I loved it. And a lot of, moms. But I get very angry if I am friends with or related to somebody that has a Samsung. I don't even know if they make Androids, but I know there's a Google phone or whatever. Not that I'm promoting Apple. I just think it's the most user-friendly phone out there. That's my opinion.
I agree with that. But the whole apps thing, I think, has exploded from like things that were useful to just now I feel like every store and everything feels like they have to create an app for you to download, making it seem like they're really tech savvy when there's really no reason for them to have an app.
Well, I'm going to talk about one with a store, and I think I disagree with some of it.
Okay.
But I'll teach you something today. I bet.
Thank God, because what I did is I just kind of looked around on my phone and on my iPad and just thought, if there were 5 apps that I use every day, what are my go-tos, and what would I be mad if I could not access?
Okay.
And I realized I use the one that I love most, that I feel is useful and fun, is FaceTime. FaceTime. That's an app.
Nobody calls that an app.
Why? I had to download it on my thing.
I mean,
didn't I? Are you going to say that the app that I love is not an app?
Well, I think it comes with your phone.
Yeah.
Does it?
Yes.
Oh, I thought are you sure?
Yeah.
Yes.
God damn it. Okay. Well, then I'm going to pretend that I didn't just... The calculator. I love okay, fine. But it is an app, isn't it?
I mean, I guess you...
Is it?
It's got a button on the home screen.
It does.
In the way that the phone also is an app.
I think like when you're on your iPad, yes, it is, because your iPad doesn't work as a phone.
Yeah.
So it is a button on a screen. So
technically.
I will technically say that. On your phone, necessarily, you can just, when you call somebody, you can hit
FaceTime.
home, or you can hit
Right.
FaceTime. But I get that on an iPad.
Yeah.
I get... You get a pass on that.
I get a half credit. Half app.
You're half-apping it.
It's like the rest of my life. Okay, then I'll pick a different one. Okay. So I definitely use Facebook, TikTok, Spotify, and Libby probably every day.
What's Libby?
Libby is the library app where you can like download ebooks and so you just have to have
from various libraries, right?
Well, Indianapolis library, you just have to have a library card, and it can be any card, and then you can access audiobooks and downloadable books.
Okay.
And they're due back, which I never quite understood. I'm like,
come on.
No,
I know.
I have had to they're not due back. They take them away from you, so I can be mid-read and forget about it for a second and go back to finish it, and the book's gone.
So just like you were checking a book out.
Yes.
Yeah.
But then I thought, really? This isn't...
I mean, I'm sure it's a licensing thing, but come on.
Still.
Really?
Still. That, yeah.
I'm like 200th in line for some book.
Yeah. For a downloadable book?
Yes. For the ones that come out and they're like, we only have 36 copies and they're all out.
One copy for the whole United States.
I guess they don't charge. So... I mean,
so
back of the line, cheapskate.
Yeah. Wow. I didn't realize it worked like that.
It does work like that. But I do, especially, I think I didn't really get into it until COVID. And then all of a sudden, the library was closed and I couldn't get to my book. I do prefer to have a real physical book.
Yeah, I know you do. Yeah.
But with COVID, I was like, this is all I have. And now I prefer it that way. You can check out a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
No big deal. If you don't like it, you just quit reading it and it disappears.
Yeah, you don't have to pay for it.
Yeah, it's not a back and forth. So, anywho,
That's
Libby.
interesting.
Libby, it's fun and it's free. I just don't have unending funds like you do, Tracy, to run out and buy every book that I love. Did you?
I don't buy
you
books.
Do that?
No.
Then why were you saying to me that I was cheap?
No, I just because you use the free books. I do it too. I was just calling you on something I do.
Thanks a lot. So those are my ones that I probably use every day. Do you have everyday apps that if they were taken away from you, you would be sad, Tracy?
Yeah. So I would say my number one is Facebook. That's just the one I'm most connected on. Yeah. So Facebook. TikTok, I can spend some time on the TikTok. It's still enjoyable. I feel like I'm learning a little bit. I feel like I'm staying current on things. So I like that one. Probably one of my ones that I would miss the most is Waze. W-A-Z-E.
Yes, it's on my list, yes.
Yeah, I use that for my driving, and I put it in when I'm going anywhere, especially there's always construction. So even if I'm just going to work, I just hit work, because if there's something's closed or there's a crash, I want to be rerouted. I want to be in the know.
I just I knew that you were a big Waze fan, and when we went on our car trip to Atlanta this past week, we used it for I usually just use like Google Maps or whatever, but
I just use what's on the phone.
whatever is
it's
on
come
the
a
phone.
long way. It's probably not near as good as Waze, but it does pick up more than it used to as far as construction.
Waze did, I appreciated it kept telling me hazards, and I always thought that meant like something terrible was happening in the road. That's just if like a car's over on the side of the road and people are going to have to like get over to get away from the shoulder.
Just will say,
so like lots of hazards, and they did tell me when the popo was trying to get
quarter
me.
mile up,
and that's a nice that's
so
something
I avoided,
that the Apple one doesn't.
Yeah, so I appreciated that. I think just what Waze does and what Google Maps does in general is the greatest thing ever.
It is the greatest thing ever.
It's the greatest app ever. Yes.
In the history of
because
apps.
I am so directionally challenged.
Me too.
That don't you remember? Like I was telling somebody, probably one of my kids, the story about when I had my first job and I had to drive to Chicago. I was like straight out of school. I had to like call the hotel and say, I'm coming from Indiana. How do I get there? And then I had to trust that they told me the right thing. And it was not very specific. It didn't tell you how many miles you had before you had to get over to get off your exit. Like I was so stressed out.
And then from there it went to MapQuest.
MapQuest.
Where you put in the starting and ending points.
Good old AAA trip tips.
Yes.
Yep.
And then MapQuest, you would have like 6 pages of directions.
But I appreciated it.
Yeah. And there was no rerouting though. You just had to turn around and go back if you missed something. So.
But just as a person that like, I stress about that.
100% dependent on that.
And I'm sure people that are younger think, how did anyone find anything or get anywhere?
Remember calling, like if you went to a friend's house for the first time and you'd never been there and you were a new driver and you wrote down the first left, the second. I remember telling like pizza delivery people, in the neighborhood, how many, it changed everything.
Yeah. Look, I would always be like, well, I never know what the streets are called.
I know.
Is there a McDonald's on the corner? Like, I want like big landmarks.
Need a food related landmark, please.
Too. Oh,
yeah.
Awful.
So I think that invention has changed the way I feel about
it gives you your freedom back because you don't feel scared to drive anywhere because you know you're gonna
So Waze is
it's a top.
Okay. What else?
I don't know how many of mine I can say, but the Notes app. No, I mean like I don't want to take up the time. The Notes app that comes on your phone.
Does that count since it comes on it?
I don't know. That's what I was getting ready to ask.
I think it's a half.
It's a half app.
Half app.
For scanning. Because I don't have a scanner, and you can use it for scanning, and it will take a picture and turn your image into a PDF instead of a photo.
Yep, Joe uses that all the time with his documents.
Like if you have something,
it'll make a picture you take into a PDF.
Get a PDF, and then you just attach it to your email or whatever.
The Notes app.
Yes, I'll show you later.
Huh?
And that's a freebie. I'm going to keep talking since I have the mic.
Yeah.
Google Photos, again, I don't know since it's, if you have a Google account, then you can have Google Photos.
Yeah, my girls do. I don't.
I pay for extra storage because all my photos go there. But the search of that is really good. Like I have my kids' labeled like their faces. So then I can, put in Zach, and pictures I've taken of Zach for the past 10 years will come up without me having to do anything. Or like I put Chicago, and pictures that were taken in Chicago will come up.
Okay, I have a question.
What?
Is the Google Photos thing a separate thing, or is it just if you have a Google account?
It's separate.
It's separate. Okay, because I've never heard of it.
Yeah, I'll show you that one too.
Okay, keep going.
Canva. I use the free version of everything. I don't pay for anything.
What's Canva? I've heard of it.
Canva is what I use to make images.
Okay.
Like for the up for grabs.
Like social media posts.
And stuff like that.
I don't ever do that, but I know what you're talking about.
So
and they also in Canva, I was just looking over resumes of my children before they went back to school, and they have templates in there.
Oh, that's nice.
That you can use. Yeah. No, it's not. It has a lot of different, and that when you click on it, the thing that I liked is that you can click like an Instagram, and that what you're making is going to be the appropriate size for an Instagram post. Like you're not going to make it in something and then have it cut off.
Right.
Look at that. Okay.
Half of it. It's free. It's fun.
Yeah. And Better Sleep. That's the name of an app that I just used the free version, and it's like a sound machine that you can. It has a lot of options, and you can like customize, put in different sounds that you like
white noise,
like white noise and wind and rain or whatever. And you can set a timer for an hour, 2 hours, 6 hours, and then you fall asleep to that. And I think I sleep better. I fall asleep faster and stay asleep.
Is that part of the Calm app as well?
Nope, it's different, but they might have it on Calm.
Yeah, I think Rob has a Calm app, and I just think sometimes we listen to running water.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like that.
Which makes me have to go to the bathroom, but that's okay.
All right, I'm going to still talk because I've got the mic. Games that I play. I like the New York Times games app because it has like...
I didn't know they had an app.
It has the crossword puzzle. Maddie just got into that. It times you.
Yes.
It's
it
like
has
a short one. It's a
puzzle.
mini, yeah.
It has like 4 maybe different things. I don't know. There's several
I didn't know there
things.
was an app. I've been going to the website.
No, there's
I
an
didn't
app.
know there was an app either. I just type in when they...
And the kids and I all do the, what's it called? Wordle.
And then what's the other one? That's the new Connections.
That's on there. That's on there.
That's a fun one.
I have a quandary with Connections. Do you do it?
Yeah.
So over the break when Lillian was home, she and my sister and my mom would all have the same Connections. Mm-hmm. And then when I would do it, I would have a different puzzle, but I was on the same day.
That's interesting.
So I felt like there was a glitch in the matrix. Or is it possible to have 2 different Connections puzzles going on? I thought there was just one.
I did too. Does it regenerate every 24 hours? I don't know. You versus someone else. You know what I mean? Like your 24 hours.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean,
and not the clock
you can't
24.
go back in.
I don't know.
Did you do it today?
No, I didn't do it yet today.
Okay.
No, I was going to every day.
I was going to throw out a word.
Do all those every day.
Throw out a word to see if I was on the same. I was so mad because like you want to get a hint from somebody, and they're like, you don't have the same puzzle as I have. I'm like,
that's interesting. I bet you had to do with the 24-hour thing.
Okay, well, I'm mad because I could never get any help because
I play Double Down Casino fake slots, and that's very enjoyable. I win and lose about 10 million fake dollars all the time.
I'm so proud of you.
Thank you. That's fun. So Candy Crush.
Okay.
I will say last year I was in the top 100 on Candy Crush.
What a humble brag.
I know. It was like a tournament, and I did really well. So there's that. Thinking about things that used to be a thing: Cut the Rope, Fruit Ninja, Temple Run. Those were games. Doodle Jump. Those were games that everyone used to play. Yes. And then also thought about the fact that Vine. Do you remember Vine? Vine was
I was never on it, but my girl.
One of the first.
Yeah. It was
and Zach and I were talking about how TikToks now can be up to 10 minutes long.
It's too long.
It used to be.
I liked them when they were
like 1 minute or whatever. I forget what it started. Vine could only be 6 seconds long.
Oh my gosh, I didn't know that.
And so people who went air quote viral over Vine were pretty talented if they could entertain us in 6 seconds.
Yeah.
And they were cutting these video clips down to almost nothing, which I have one of Alex that I'll share later that I kept. But Vine, when it disappeared, everything went with it. People, unless they somehow kept it, they were all gone. There's nowhere to go back and see the vines.
She still laughs about different vines.
Me too.
Yeah, my girls do too.
And you're right. 6 seconds. If you can even tell any sort of story in 6 seconds, you're
do
good.
Anything. Yeah, I don't. Yeah.
Yeah. So
R.I.P. Vines.
R.I.P. Vines. That's right. All right. I guess that's it for now.
Okay, Kim, did you have some absolute most used?
Yeah. I mean, the normal, like Instagram and Facebook and those I do every day. So I came across one a couple years ago called Fetch. And it is an app, and it's free. There's not anything to it. You scan your receipts, and you get points. And sometimes there are products that are worth more points than others, maybe at Walmart or at Target. It also gives you points for your Amazon purchases. And it takes a while, but about 27,000 or 28,000 points, then there's a ton of gift cards that you qualify for. So I always do Cheesecake Factory. So whenever I hit my milestone, I get a $25 cheesecake.
Huh.
And so the more you scan, the more points that you just take it like a picture and you hold it up to the receipt and you scan
How
it.
do they make money off it? Like,
I have no idea.
Is it just through
Probably
advertisement?
because they know they kind of track the marketing end of it.
Oh, they're getting info.
So like if I spent $15 on Sargento cheese, for instance, and right now I would get 1,400 points.
So basically, it's a kind of a coupon-y sort of way.
And it's really user friendly and it's free. You're not paying for anything.
Right.
So I really love that app. And, another app that I came across, that has helped me tremendously is Balance. So I learned from a therapist. It's her favorite app that she recommends to people. It's free for the first year, which none of those are like that.
No.
And I think it's like $69 a year and it's free. And it has probably everything that Calm has or Better Sleep has. But they also have what they call a 10-day plans on different things that might be bothering you or that you need, like facing your fears or anxiety or this. And it goes through a daily meditation for 15 to 20 minutes. It just builds upon that. They have evening relaxation singles, like 5-minute relax, wind down. They have the sound. They have like concentration, creativity. It is the best app, and it teaches you how to meditate as well. So that's the bonus. And it's definitely worth.
I'd like to ask, I made a list of like ones that I didn't know about. Like I did a little research and I was like, oh, I didn't know about that. And I thought maybe I want to try it. One of them was called Insight Timer. Do you know about that?
I've not heard of that.
Okay. I don't know. It just came up in my research and it just said that it was, like a free mental health sort of app. It didn't really exactly say what it did.
Yeah.
But it's free. So I don't know. Have you ever heard of it?
I have not, but
Insight
I'll look
Timer.
into it.
Okay.
So Balance it's
Balance.
amazing. So then I'm just going to, when you were talking about stores and you were talking about apps, if you're a frequent Target shopper, you have to have their app.
I don't.
Okay. You have to.
God.
So you can become part of, free of charge, Target Circle. And it's a little coupon thing, and you can go through offers and you can go through, but what they do every once in a while is they give you bonuses. If you spend so much, like I go there every week. So if you spend so much every week, then they give you bonuses, or you have their red card and you get the 5%. Every few months, they'll give you an extra 5%, and you only get that through Circle. So it's on their app and it's Target Circle, and you just become a member or whatever. But this, you kind of just go through it and you scan through it. $2 off of Tide Pod, and they track. So then they'll say coupons for you because they know what you buy.
Okay, I have a question. I think the reason I didn't love that was because I just wanted it so if I joined them, their circle, that if I bought something that was on there, it would automatically give me the discount.
No.
I didn't like the idea of having to check it and
I agree.
be there at the right time. And
I agree.
It
so I just
changes
didn't use
weekly.
it.
So sit down on a Monday evening and just go through all the offers.
Can't you just select them all? So if you happen to buy something?
No, because you can only select so many offers.
Oh, great.
Which you never, you can, because you would
playing
not,
the game,
you would
Rach.
not believe $2 off a Dove hair care product. I mean, you
can't work the system.
And this is what, the $5 off this is what I was talking about. They have a little special just this week. It's when you spend $30 in the store, you get $5 off. So
You can't get in Target without spending $30.
the app is Yes, you have to do some work with it.
Okay.
But it is 100% worth it.
You find payoff in it. Okay.
Yeah. So,
Okay.
I mean, so those are and we've already talked about this in the past, but my only game that I play is June's Journey. And
Oh my God, is she on there?
I highly
Shout
recommend.
out June's Journey.
How's she doing, by the way? Doing really well.
Cocktail hour, see it done.
But anyway, and I'm like, oh, shut up. Anyways, it's a middle-aged person's. I mean, men are on it too.
Is it an app on your phone?
It really is. Yeah, it's the game.
I'm gonna
it's a
get it.
game.
What's
It's a
it called?
German game. June's
Look at her.
Journey. And it's a it's like a search. Like,
She's jaunty with that hat.
and it's a really I'm not, I don't go out and rate at, games. It's done well.
Okay.
It is. I love
It's
it.
well done.
Do you guys do Time Hop too? Do you have the Time Hop app?
I do.
Oh, Rachel.
What is it?
So this app is really fun. So it connects. So it's Time Hop. Time
Is that
Hop.
when they find old pictures
Yes,
of you?
and it's every day, so it connects to all your things wherever you would post something, and it's like a memory.
Oh, I don't
it's
like
a memory
memories.
thing. And then some of them are hard. I'm not gonna lie.
Well,
but,
my phone automatically does that.
yeah, your phone does.
But it's not fun.
But in this, will say how many years ago. Yeah, so that it keeps record of how many years in a row like I don't miss it. Like
Right.
that's my morning routine.
So you time
have
hop
to
and
look at my
see.
time hop. Yeah.
Where were you hopping today?
Well, I was in Rome 7 years ago.
Well, la-di-da.
You said time up just so you could say you were in Rome 7 years
But
ago.
look at this, you guys, obviously you can't see, but
Look at this, you guys.
10 years ago, we were at, I think, Appleworks and pictures of the kids.
Aw.
I mean, it's
That's
just,
wholesome.
it is fun. 15 years ago, I was getting ready to eat lunch with Joe and Mary. I don't know why I posted that on Facebook, but I did. My girls get the biggest kick out of looking at
stuff
my
that you
posts.
actually said.
Because at home, is it home with the girls cleaning the house? Yep, that's what my life has come to. It's why did I feel like I needed to post that on
That sounds like
Facebook?
Travis Kelce when he was in college. Lillian was getting a kick out of his old
Yeah, and then you think,
Twitter feed.
wow, I would never post something like that.
He's like,
today.
nap time.
I saw a Facebook memory from 14 years ago that I sent to Jennifer Heimlich the other day. It's a mutual friend of ours. And I was like, Jennifer and our other friend, Kristen, are tied at 1360 for pathwords. It's on. Why was that my post?
Why was that your post?
And then-
Passwords was fun.
And then people weighed in on it,
Yeah.
said I was starting stuff like a fight between the two of them. I'm like, what on earth
Yeah.
is this? I don't even remember
So
passwords.
it is fun to see those kind of posts.
Okay,
that you're
maybe
like, wow, did I really post that? But
So embarrassing. Yeah. I also made a list of a few of the apps that maybe I don't use every day, but I find most useful. Because usually, I love the fun stuff, the games. I'm all for that. That's really what I do most of the time.
yeah.
But there are a few, and Waze was in that most useful category
Yes.
for me.
Yes.
The other one that I love is Grammarly.
Yeah.
And there's a free version and then there's a paid version, but anytime if you have to do any sort of writing,
yeah, you like to write, so you want to make sure it's
and it's just you run it through that, and it can, the part that you pay for, I think, is they'll actually reword your sentences to make them sound
so do
clearer.
you scan it?
You download it in, you
Okay.
copy and paste whatever you're writing
Okay.
into their app, and then they'll make suggestions.
Yeah.
That's really
Or
cool.
you could install it on your computer
Yeah.
and then you
Yeah,
just click,
I'm
click
sure
the
my
button
girls
and
probably
it
have
goes
it.
through it.
But I don't do homework anymore, or write. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? But that is
No, it was handy.
very handy.
And the other one that I use a lot that I love is MyFitnessPal.
Yeah,
And I don't use it every day, but I love the idea.
of tracking.
Tracking's important.
Yeah, it is important.
I have another one on that idea.
Tell me.
That's not MyFitnessPal, but Carb Manager, CARB. When I was doing keto several years ago,
Right.
It would count your carbs, but you don't have to be keto to use it. You can.
Right,
It
just-
does any
a lot of
food.
people pay attention to their
and
yeah.
it's they have a lot of food built into their library that people help do, and people use it to do their macros of
Right.
just whatever. You can chart your weight, but if you're trying to stick to 1,500 calories a day,
Right.
then you put that in, and it keeps track. And so at 6 o'clock, you're like, oh, I've got
That's what
650
MyFitnessPal,
less.
yeah.
Okay, so
They
yeah.
have that now. Yeah.
What I
similar.
loved about MyFitnessPal was when I was doing Weight Watchers at one point, really watching, and this, I loved all the restaurants on my MyFitnessPal.
That's true.
That can, like you can pull up something and say, oh, that's how many daggone points that.
When I go to Chili's and get that salsa, yeah,
that kind of stuff. But it is. It makes you aware.
Yeah. No, I like that one. And then the other one that I use a lot, and I am embarrassed to say, but I do love a good DoorDash.
I don't think I've ever done DoorDash, Grubhub, any of them.
Well, I have, and I'm going to tell you,
I've
when
done
you're
DoorDash
hungry
a couple of times
and you don't want to leave the house,
Yeah.
it is delightful.
Yeah. Is it hot when it gets there? Because
It depends.
Yeah.
Sometimes I have to reheat it.
But a lot of restaurants a lot of restaurants like Panera is tied in with DoorDash now. So like if the girls work at A-Zip Pizza, if you want delivery, it goes through DoorDash.
Right.
So, like that kind of thing. But so
Like,
anything,
especially during, like, I think that I never used it until COVID.
Yeah.
And then I was like,
oh yeah. I mean, that's all we
not
did.
having to leave the house and getting food delivered that I didn't have to make. Yes.
You're in?
I'm in. And then the other useful one that I also personally don't use, but Rob has the account, is Venmo.
Oh, I love. You don't have Venmo?
I don't.
Rachel.
Talk about a game changer.
It's a game changer.
And it doesn't cost anything. Now, you do pay a little more if you want the money instantly in your bank account. Like if someone Venmos you money,
Right. You have to wait for
two
it.
options. You can hit just normal transfer, which could take 1 to 3 business days. But I think it's like maybe 50 cents. I mean, it's nothing.
Yeah, it's not much.
It's not.
Well,
oh
it's
my
just
God.
changed the way, like, my kids, I was just talking to somebody, like, they're like, they never have ordered checks. They don't
never.
understand what checks are or why I use
How to
them.
write one. Yeah.
Or how to write one, or how to fill out an envelope with the address looking correct. I'm like, are you in kindergarten? What's happening? But now, yeah, they're debit cards and Venmo, and that's
Yeah, they can split when they go out
can
for
split.
drinks or when they go out. That's I
If they order pizza and 3 people
Yes.
order it, then you Venmo request for a third
Yeah.
of whatever you paid.
I just always like to say I'll pay you back later and then not do it.
At
really
me.
good at-
Yes.
Oh, I do.
Thank you.
I forgot about that app. I use that quite frequently. So
Yeah, I don't. And then one app that I wanted to ask about before you guys tell me other useful, I assume you guys have other apps that you want to talk about, useful apps. I know, Tracy, I'm pretty positive you use this one. It's not one that I ever use, and I found it to be a tad controversial, depending on how you chose to use it, was Life 360.
Yeah. I did
used
and
it.
I do. I still do.
What?
It did in a different way.
Tell me.
I had it when the kids were young, and I kept it. I don't look at it like every day or every whatever. Like if for some reason, like I thought, oh gosh, I haven't heard from her and she's not texting me back. I just make sure that her car's not on the side of the road.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I use it for that, but there comes a point, I think, when you're using Life 360 that you have to not. I mean, when I first got it, I could have stalked the heck out of my kids. I knew where they were every second of every day, and that was kind of part of having your phone was you had to have Life 360. Like I had to be able to find you.
Right.
And, Zach has a medical condition that, God forbid, he were fall over on a sidewalk and,
That'd be good.
I could find him. So there are things that I just think it makes sense to have. They have me. And I will say that they're like, what are you doing at McDonald's? or like they'll call me on it, like, can you bring home whatever? And I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. My mom used to go to Rally's by herself on her way home and get the fries. And it was like when Rally's was new and she would eat them before she got home because she had 5 kids. And who wants to share your order of fries with 5 kids? But anyway, they would call and say,
What are you getting for
what
me?
are you getting? Will you get me this or that? And I'm like, dang it.
yeah, my kids wouldn't know.
So, Kim, did you use it?
So I like if you share your location through a text or whatever, then like my son Jack, like you can always find his location unless he would turn that off. So I have irrational fears and irrational anxiety, and Life 360 would not work for me.
Yeah.
My sister has it and she's back down, but I think it can even tell you how fast your child's driving.
Yes, it can.
It does, but I think that sometimes it's inaccurate, so I've never paid any attention to that.
I don't
but-
think that I would manage that well at all. I do think that if something bad would happen, maybe I would think my kids are good texters. They stay in touch with me. I have their location. I may not know, I know the location's not really, sometimes it'll
Right.
show a location and they could have left like 15 minutes ago or whatever. But for me, I could not. Like my sister had it for like her daughter that's at Purdue, and it'll ding when she walks in her dorm, and I'm like,
No.
at 2 or 3 in the morning, and like,
No.
no way.
Yeah.
And all I say to her, you're nuts. Like I would never be able to fall. Sometimes we grew up and we survived.
Yes.
Sometimes it's okay.
No,
out
all
of
the-
sight, out of mind.
Yeah.
All the time.
Yeah.
But definitely, if things are, I think little kids, and if my kids were in grade school, and they had a phone, yeah, probably 100%. But young adults, I too much anxiety with it.
Okay, because I just know that there were some people, like I can just remember when our kids maybe were late grade school, middle school and high school. If I'd be out in a social situation, somebody would inevitably be looking at their phone and saying, "Oh my gosh, what's he doing there?" Or, "Oh my
Yes.
gosh, he's driving 55 on Edgewood." I'm like,
No, my sister will text her son and say, "Slow down,"
And I'm like,
really? Yeah, it's not.
and I just thought, I felt sad for the kid because I'm like, at some point you have to just trust until you're given a reason not to
Yeah.
trust.
Right.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I never did it,
No.
especially for a kid in college. Good Lord, I did not want my parents to know what I was doing and when I
Yeah.
was walking in my door in college.
Yeah.
It was none of their business, and they didn't want to know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So at that point, like you said, it would just make me anxious all
Very.
the time.
I couldn't do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm sure my daughter would be, or son would be like, "Mom,
Yep.
What are you doing?
I'm throwing my phone over here and getting
Yeah.
a different
Yeah.
one that you don't have because you can't be
Yeah.
worrying about this right now." I did tell like Lillian, it's always a double standard. I'm more concerned about her than
I know.
Sam,
I know you
but
worry, but yeah.
for college, I was like, you make sure your roommates or your friends have your location.
Yeah.
Like share it with them.
Yes.
And so if all of a sudden I can't get in touch with you and I call them, they would know where you were.
Yeah.
Right.
And do not put your phone on Do Not Disturb.
Like, I just
that
don't-
kind of thing.
I can't know.
Sammy's not on Life 360 anymore, and she several years ago, because she said it took up too much space on her phone, whatever, and
in her mind.
and in her mind, and but the same thing where she was like, well. Several friends have it. If I go missing, just put out a call.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
said, okay, so
Yeah, sometimes, I mean,
I think
not my
it's great
favorite,
for
but I
younger
get
kids.
it.
A
Yeah.
kid getting off the bus by themselves
Yeah.
and their mom and dad working. I
Yes.
think that it's a great app.
Absolutely.
I just think that with anything, it can be a little
be
used too much.
yeah.
okay, I just want to
agree.
make sure that, because I saw that app and I thought that one made me uncomfortable
Yeah, me too.
in the sense that, like, these poor kids were just living their lives. They weren't doing anything. They weren't doing anything that the parent had never done.
Yeah.
But they were getting chewed out about it
Well,
in
that's not
real
fair.
time. I'm like, oh my God. I'm going to call them while they're driving too fast. What? No, leave them alone. The other one, do you guys have the Find My Phone thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, I don't, but I should probably.
I mean,
Or does it come? Does it come automatically?
I
on
don't
my
know if
phone?
it comes
I think
automatically.
you
I
have to
think I
turn
have
it on or off.
Okay.
I think it does come automatically, but you have to, enable it.
Okay.
I'm forgetful. I lose things. I have to have it because if my phone were
Yeah.
missing or stolen or whatever, I'd want some sort of recourse to track it down.
Okay. Tracy, you touched on some of the fun apps you had. The only one that I would add to that, I do love my Netflix app.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I love all. Yeah.
I don't have an app for Netflix. I just watch
do you
it on
ever
my
watch
TV.
any? I was going to
because
say,
you're-
if you want to ever watch it on your phone, like if you're traveling.
I
or
actually watch it on my iPad, but yeah.
your iPad.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because our TV isn't fancy like yours downstairs.
Oh, so you don't have a
Okay.
smart TV.
It wasn't
Okay.
already smart.
Okay.
It's learning, but
Good.
yeah. So I do love that. And Shazam. I know Kim is a big name that tune kind of gal. I thought the idea of Shazam was brilliant. I still don't understand how it can figure out what song is what. I think it's wonderful.
You still use Shazam?
No, I don't. No, I never have.
Oh, okay.
But I always love that some people.
is that still
Because you can just ask Siri now what's playing.
you can? Okay.
Oh, like if you're in a restaurant
Yeah.
and the song comes on, you're like, "Hey Siri, who
I don't-
sings this song?"
Okay, I don't even talk to Siri. Like, is she on my phone without?
I think you have to when you set it up, you have to enable it. So because they'll do like a voice recognition thing.
Yeah.
I don't have her.
About once a week at work, my boss's name is Sherry.
Oh my
and
God.
I say, hey, Sherry, can you show me what whatever is?
There it goes. It pops up. Yeah.
and I have it turned
I'm sorry,
on.
I don't understand.
I found this on the web.
And every time, and I'm like, I'm sorry.
so
But
sorry.
Shazam was a genius. Now they have apps, I think, that you can sing a song in your voice.
Oh my God, how
and
funny.
And it picks up what the song is. Like, hey, I don't know what this song is. Like,
They've
and
never
you can
heard me
sing it.
sing.
And before it had to just recognize the singer.
No, but
Maddie was telling me that.
stuff like that. I mean, I guess it's fun that I said Shazam, and you're telling me that no one uses that anymore. But I guess
that was a great app.
The whole idea of because it drives you crazy when
It
you don't know
does.
what. Like if
It
you hear one
does.
that you like, I know this, and I cannot.
When you hear it when you're out or whatever, yeah, I use that all the time when
was
it
fun.
was, before the phone could do it.
It was fun. Do you have any other fun apps that?
I mean-
other than June's Journey. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, just the
I'm
ones
getting
that you
June's
were,
Journey.
we didn't talk about Snapchat. I don't
do
snap a
that.
lot, but I do love that I'm on a group chat with like my sister and my nieces and my kids and their kids. And so I love that's why I love Snapchat. I kind of feel like my girls, you have, what's it called when like you
A
snap
streak.
everyday streaks and stuff. I like it because it just kind of keeps me in tune with
I downloaded it
like
and
that.
used it just a little bit. I don't ever use it.
I don't really use it, but I will.
I'm going to flex.
do it, Tracy.
Oh, you
Okay.
use Snapchat. Yeah.
I do. I snap, and I have like 6 streaks, I think. My kids are right around, give or take 1,000, except for Sammy. We have 1,700. So 1,700 days in a row that we
Wow.
send
Yeah.
a picture back and forth. And like when they were in college, it was proof of life. It was, here's what I'm doing, but I don't feel like telling you everything that's going on. So sometimes it would be a picture of just walking through.
We'll talk about
an
it later.
area.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then my flex is that Rachel, Sam Brown, and I have a streak, and it is currently at 717 days that we have sent a picture
Proof of life. If you ever
back
need
and
it
forth.
with Sam, you got
and that
it.
is for proof of life, and
I
this.
don't need Life 360 with Tracy around getting a picture of Sam's forehead for
Every day.
700
It is
days.
almost always his forehead. Every now and then I can see his whole actual face.
It's so funny how there is a art to it.
Yes.
The funnest thing about Snapchat is that they have filters.
Oh, yeah.
And I am telling you, we can spend hours on that dying, if a new one comes out, and stuff.
Is
That's
Sam not using filters on his forehead?
Nobody might if I don't.
that's fun, but it is fun because when the kids send Snapchat back, every once in a while I'll lean over and see what their girls, and it's always just part of their face.
Yeah.
Or just their eye. I mean, I'm like, that's weird, but that's how they communicate these days.
I have another streak with a kid who came to IU from Maryland.
Oh, yeah.
When
yeah.
my kids
Yep.
came, and we have an 845-day streak.
That is ridiculous.
And when he graduated this past May,
He already graduated?
yeah, and so I
Is this
said,
Will?
It is Will.
Oh,
And I
Will.
said, okay, you've graduated, and it's okay for us to break our
break up,
streak.
yeah.
He's like, are you crazy? We're not breaking our streak. We've done too well. So Will and I still have our streak. But
Well, I love that. And
Yeah.
I do remember you didn't reveal that you had a streak with my son for a while. And then when you told me, when you finally confessed to it, because you knew it would hurt my feelings, because I can't think of anything Sam and I have communicated with that many times in a row.
Same with me and Jack.
That consistency. And the fact
feel
that
ya.
I'm like, you got him to send a picture of his forehead for 700 days. I'm like, I can't even get him to reply to my text. So,
but and I've told you that I do it partially for the whole proof of life thing. I need to see that you're okay, even a little bit.
Okay.
And that is for our friendship, yours
Well-
and mine, not mine and Sam's.
okay. Well, both of you, because he probably is also concerned about you at this point. Like if
Probably.
you didn't check in, he'd be worried.
Well, yeah, because I send a text my snap that I send, I don't send pictures of myself. Like, who wants to see pictures of me? Usually it's my dogs or whatever. And then I just say night and love, those 2 words. So good night and love, because who doesn't want to hear that they're loved every day? So I do that. And
You're
that's
so
all I
good.
do.
Thank God you're doing the mothering for me.
Oh, stop it.
I'm just going to sit back and
Whatever.
let you do the heavy lifting. Is there an app on your phone currently that is weird and you don't know why you bothered to download it? Because I have one. Like, did you look at your phone and think, why?
I don't know.
You're very purposeful with your downloads.
I think I am purposeful. I mean,
I'm pretty purposeful.
So you guys don't have
Well, what do you have? And
Yeah,
then
I'm dying
it
here.
might lead me in the right direction.
I, for some reason, downloaded the Merlin app, and it's from the Cornell lab for birds, and it's an app where you can. No, hold on.
I just have this vision of bird people, but go on.
I know. It's an app where you can hit if you're outside and you hear a bird singing and
it tells you what it
you
is.
record it, and then it will tell you what kind of bird it is. And one time a bird was making a
kinda cool.
because usually
That
I know
is-
the bird.
that is
There's only
cool.
2 types of birds in my backyard, really. But then all of a sudden I heard this other one. I'm like, what could that be? And it happened to be featured in the paper in one of the fun sections. Oh, here's a fun app if you love birds. I'm like, well, I don't love birds, but I would love to know what this bird is. And it worked.
That's really cool.
But now I still have it on my phone, and I've quit caring about what bird
what
is
birds
which.
are doing that.
Yeah.
Okay, so 2 that I want to mention. One is kind of speaking to what you're saying, and the other one I'm just bringing up because I meant to earlier. X or Twitter.
Ew.
X,
I don't-
formerly
yeah.
known as Twitter.
Yeah.
Don't do Twitter.
I didn't get rid of it. I don't care for it anymore. It's kind of weird now. I didn't get rid of it because it gives me free money for my casino every day.
Good Lord.
And you can creep on things.
For
you
my
can
fake
scroll
casino.
and
I can,
Yeah,
but I'm not that big into it. But then Threads.
No, I haven't
Threads
been
is
on.
like
I haven't either.
really.
Is it good?
It's like the Instagram's version of Twitter.
And is it good?
It's not bad.
Okay. Are there people that are really?
Yes,
A lot of people on it.
A lot of people
Okay.
are on it. More people are joining. And I don't always think to go to it, even though it's there.
Yeah, I'm gonna
I
have
forget
to
that
look
it's on
into
my
that, 'cause
phone.
I've never really done Twitter, so
But I
was
used
asked-
to love Twitter, but now
I
I
did
just don't
too.
as much.
And we all know why. Rob said that he got. I asked him about. I'm like, oh, we're going to talk about apps. What is your go-to? What would you have to have? And he said Twitter.
Joe,
X.
that's Joe's. Joe.
He's
is
like, I get my news.
anti-social media,
Yeah.
but Twitter is his.
Yeah.
He follows funny pages. He gets his
Yeah.
news. He gets all
Yes.
his sports stuff.
Twitter is the man's Facebook.
It is.
It is.
And they don't really post or anything. They
No.
just might like and share, and that's it.
Although a lot of it's just weird now. There's not any monitoring. So you could be looking at a news report and then
You don't-
all of the comments under it are people fighting,
Yeah.
what was that World Star or whatever that used to be a thing, videos of stuff like that. It has nothing to do with it. And it didn't used to be like that. It used to be
A little more
it would make
regulated.
sense.
Yeah.
Well, we can't have that.
I do have the astronomy app. That is fun. It's
hold
like the
on.
picture one. That's a good one.
Sky View Light.
I don't know what it's called.
I had it down here as one I wanted to try. You can
But
take.
it's really cool, especially when you could see every once in a while when we can see a certain planet, closer,
So you
whatever.
just hold your phone
You just
up?
hold your phone up, and any star it says it'll tell you what it is.
It's just like a bird thing, but for stars.
But it's neat, when you go to the beach at night.
Ooh, that would be
when
nice.
there's tons of stars out, and it's really cool to
Okay.
use that.
Did you say Starlight?
The one that I said was Sky View Light.
I think that's what it's
Skyview.
called. It's and it's really cool, and it tells you the different constellations and the planets, and if the what's the thing that? Oh my God, I'm having a brain freeze.
Milky Way? What do you say?
No, when
The sun?
When the oh my God, I don't even know what I'm trying to say. Not the space shuttle up there, but when
the satellites.
the ones that
The chain?
I
of
don't
them?
know. They'll show those.
Okay.
They'll show when they're near or whatever.
Yeah, the ones that
space
are
station. The
Space station.
when it does
Okay.
different things. It's really cool.
Okay, then I'll have to get that.
Space shuttle. Boy, I'm really aging myself. But it would do that these days if it'll be neat when we have our eclipse thing in April. So,
Yes.
Yeah.
Just
So,
don't look directly at it.
No, got to buy the glasses.
Which was one of my things for the next one, April 8th.
Yeah, you can get the cheapy ones on Amazon.
Okay, well then we might have to have a special eclipse.
Yeah, because
Recording.
we are the best
Although
viewing.
some people are saying people are selling them that aren't
I know
the
Kit, my
glasses.
sister bought hers a long time ago because
Yeah.
she's so nerdy that way. I mean,
Yeah.
she's so excited for it. It'll be cool.
I am excited.
I am
Well,
too.
That's good. Any other apps, or shall we?
No, I thought
wrap
that
this
was
up.
I think
Okay.
we all learned something about.
I think we did too.
What to download? So
Well, wonderful. If we missed anything that you can't live without as our loyal listeners, please feel free to reach out and let us know what we missed. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you next time.